Hello again, and welcome to another Build the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. We are continuing issue 15 with stage 53, so that's part 3 of this issue. Today we are going to be building the oscilloscope that's in the back of the Ecto-1. This is pretty much a self-contained build, so we'll be putting this together, but it's not going anywhere yet. Next time we'll be building some more equipment and then mounting all this. So this is the tray here. We have a number of plastic screws. It's interesting, all the screws and everything the screws go into are plastic screws. So all the pieces are plastic, but there is some... No, I guess all they're plastic pieces. For some reason, I thought some of these were thin sheet metal. I don't know why I thought that. I was dumb. It's all plastic, and the screws for plastic. So... we have a couple of things going on to start with. The first thing we're doing is we're building a control box, and the pictures in the book don't really show it, but what we're doing is we're taking this panel, which has some switches on it, and as you can see a lot of holes in it, and I think we are fitting this other panel behind it, which has a lot of pegs on it, through. So we're actually getting like a 2-layer thing. Does it matter which way is up? Yes, it does. These holes are not centered, so it's not possible to assemble it backwards. So once you fit it through, I don't really know what the point of that is, except to bulk this out and add some screws. We end up with a more complete control panel. So decisions were made. Maybe painting? No, there's some painting on both. I don't know. Don't know what the point of that was. Anyway, this is going to be held together with 2 EP screws through the back. Okay, so we got that on the front, 2 screws on the back. So that is the start. Now we've got to put some brackets on. There are 4 brackets, 2 short and 2 long. These are all held on with KP screws, and let's see if I can figure out which ones are short and which ones are long, and if it makes a difference. Okay, I believe, looking at the pictures, that the short brackets are going to go on the side with the less space to the screw. What the pictures seem to indicate, it's not super clear. So these are quite small brackets. They are plastic. Again, for some reason, I thought maybe they're not even that well painted. I thought they were sheet metal. They're just silver painted plastic. KP screws hold these on. I take it back. They are sheet metal. They're actually magnetic. So they're just super thin, and the paint makes them look like they're plastic. What a weird set of choices. Okay, so we end up with a couple of short brackets there. We've got long brackets that do the same thing. KP screws hold these on. Okay, so we got short brackets and long brackets. And again, I've done the short ones on the side with the less space to the screw based on the picture. I guess we will find out in a later assembly stage how accurate that is, but the later picture seems to confirm. Double row of buttons up here, more gaps down at the bottom. So that's going to go off to the side for the moment, and we are going to build the oscilloscope that's going to go on top of. We have the main housing. And on the front of this, we are going to install a couple of little control panels. Pretty sure these are identical, but they are not symmetrical. So we're going to put these on with the red buttons to the left. And in fact, yeah, there are pins lining up the screw holes, so you've got no choice. These are going to be held on with 2 GP screws each through the front, so the screws will be visible. And you don't have to try to fit a screwdriver through the back yet. We're going to have to in a moment anyway. but at least not for these. That's the first one, and part of the motorcycle outside. So we're going to do another one on the other side. It's going to be the same. So there is the beginnings of our oscilloscope. We got to put the screen on right in the middle between those. Now, the screen has a nice bit of detailing on it, but also some scratches. What's funny is the instructions say make sure the peaks are facing up. I have 2 peaks up and 2 peaks down. I assume they mean the 2 that are in the center of the screen, so those are the ones I'm going to put up. With the one right at the beginning will stay facing down. But you could really put it on either way, and it would be an accurate oscilloscope because sine waves. So that just pegs on in the front and is held on from the back with 2 more EP screws. This one's going to be a little trickier for getting these screws in place. Okay, so we have our oscilloscope screen in between the controls. We've got a couple handles to peg on. These just press into place. Basic little plastic handles. Not much going on there. Okay, that's a pretty good fit. Not too hard, but they're not loose. They look good. If you ever worked in a situation where you've got rack-mounted oscilloscopes, that's a pretty accurate picture. Buttons and switches, like, yeah, maybe, I don't know, but otherwise not bad. Okay, we have a couple of side panels to install. We got a left and a right, though which side is left and which side is right, I'm not certain. I guess what we're going to be able to tell, we have those tabs on the side, and they say pay careful attention to those tabs when you're slotting this together. And the holes go towards the casing. So this is the kind of the top edge, and this is the bottom edge. Just to prove to myself that you can't get this wrong. I don't think the slots are the same width. I think if you tried to put this together wrong, it would fight you. But I'm not sure. It's very strange. They make this point about pay careful attention to the corners, but I can't actually see a difference between the corners. So I'm going to test fit this and make sure it makes sense to me. See, no, because there should be these double holes in their picture supposed to be towards the front, and I have them on the back in both. So I have gotten this backwards somehow. But it really doesn't want to fit this way. Oh, now it fits just fine. I don't know. Tabs go in, double holes go towards the front. They should have just said that. I wish you get 4 pictures later and you can see it. Anyway, so that's what a side is supposed to look like. Front, double holes. We got to take the bottom of this whole contraption. That's going to peg on over this so that we can secure it. Now, again, slight offset. These sets of holes that we're going to use to secure it to the base later go towards the rear. Oh, and in fact, there's actually little cutouts. Might be able to tell. I think those are going to go around the handles, the pins from the handles. So, that will hold everything together. And this will be IP screws securing the base. This will keep the sides from falling off because it covers those tabs. Okay, so we got the base secured, and we have a complete box. Sides are still a little loose because they're just held in by being sandwiched. But that's okay. It's got a little bit of rattle. It's probably actually going to be helpful for the last bit here. So we're going to take that control board we built earlier, and this is going to go up on the top of this. And the short and long brackets are going to keep it at an angle. So from the side, we're going to put a short bracket and a long bracket. That's why we had to have those double holes towards the front. These are held on with more KP screws. Or maybe these are the first KP screws. But anyway, these are 4 KP screws, 2 on either side. Okay, so there's the control panel mounted on top of the oscilloscope. And I kind of thought it was going to be at a steeper angle, but obviously that's how it comes out. The pictures just are a little perspective disorienting. So that is our build for 53. In 54, we will be mounting this on some more equipment and then onto the workstation by the jump seat in the passenger compartment rear area of the Ecto-1. So stay tuned for that in the near future. We do these Ghostbusters builds on Wednesdays, and we do DeLorean Back to the Future builds on Saturdays. Have a good one, guys.